Everybody, welcome to another day of BobbyFi's 5 and 5. Reminder: check out TrueDFS.com. Still got a lot of cheap packages out there that we're selling for the subscriptions, and yeah, site's coming together. We got the optimizer developing soon, and we are rolling. So Sheets of Sheets have been unbelievable for all sports, including like things like League of Legends, things I don't touch. He does it with everything. He did tennis. He's got everything, and for some reason he's just crushing it. So check it out. But let's get to my 5 plays in 5 minutes, and we're going to start it off with some chalkier ones. Not going to be crazy chalky, I don't think, but going to have some ownership, and that's Vlad Guerrero. Garrett Richards is the guy we generally want lefties against. Toronto doesn't have a ton of lefties. I'm happy just to pick on Garrett Richards with everybody. I think this is a good spot here. I love Vlad. I feel happy to pay up for him at first base. He is by far my favorite first baseman. My nearest pivot is Pete Alonso. But both of those guys will make up probably 40+% of my lineup total, maybe a little bit higher even. I'm very big on Toronto tonight, so I love Vlad at first base. Massive power. I don't think I need to go through all the stats because the guy is quite simply, if he's not the best hitter in baseball, he's in the top 2 or 3. And I think he's worth paying up for tonight against Garrett Richards in Coors North, as we call it. I want to jump over to the actual Coors game. I'm a big fan of Marquis tonight, actually, but where I'm not using him, I will be playing a lot of Mitch Haniger. A lot of cheap bats on Seattle. We'll get to another one with my next play, but I do think Mitch Haniger at 4,400 on DraftKings especially is just way too cheap, and love him for Coors Field. I think that he's going to have a very big series here, and he is the guy I'm most afraid of when I'm pitching Marquis against him. Obviously, Kyle Seager stands out as well. And he's one of my favorite outfielders. Outfield is premium in the same price range. I love Teoscar. He's probably my favorite pivot off of them. I don't really say pivot off of them because they're both going to be owned. I don't think as much as maybe they should. And George Springer, obviously, I really like the Blue Jays, so I'm going to be heavy on them. Next, we're going to get into a two. I would say 2 for the price of 1, but it's actually 3 for the price of 1, almost literally. Tyler Naquin, Aristides Aquino, and Jared Kalenic. I like all 3 of these guys a ton. They're all cheap in the outfield. They're 23, 24, and 2,100 respectively. I assume Kalenic will be hitting in the middle of that Seattle lineup today. Again, I like Marquis, but I do think that's a really reasonable way to go, and his cheap price may get some ownership on him. But you can always pivot over to Naquin and Aquino. I really, really like Cincinnati as well today. It's going to be sort of a bullpen game for the Mets, but a pretty beat-up bullpen. I would prefer it if you had a regular starter in this one, but Cincinnati playing in another great hitters park, obviously. Gotta love Aquino and Naquin. Those prices are really hard to beat, and Kalenic would be the other guy I would be using for value in the outfield. At shortstop, you have a lot of decisions. My favorite is going to be Fernando Tatis, assuming that game plays and the weather's okay. Love Tatis tonight. Just an absolute monster. They finally lowered his price a little bit on DK. I think that he's close enough in price with guys like Bogarts, who I also like, and Bichette, that if the ownership goes too high, you can always pivot to those guys. But I do think Tatis is the best play. I think he's significantly better than those other guys. Stolen base, power upside. It's just hard to match. The guy swings for the fences every time and gets a huge park upgrade hitting there in Atlanta against Toussaint tonight. So big fan of Fernando Tatis. But again, if you want to pivot, it's Bichette and Bogarts for me up at the top. You could even throw Javier Baez into the mix on that one. Lastly, I'm going to say JD Martinez's price is criminal. He's 4,600 on DK. Just been hitting the ball really well. I don't know what he ended up with. He was 4 for his first 4 last night. I don't know where he's ended up, but just absolutely crushing the ball right now. Like Boston as well, but prefer Toronto and Cincy and San Diego slightly over Boston. I do think JD Martinez stands out, not just for his price. The matchup's great. You get him, and then the Blue Jays beat up bullpen from last night. Basically, it's a great spot for JD at 4,600. And the good news is because there's so many good plays and the slate's full, you're gonna not have as much chalk. Usually that ends up changing by the end of the day. You'll get people will dial in on 1 or 2 or 3 different sides to go. But I think JD Martinez, along in that same price range as Teoscar, along in the same price range as Haniger, along the same price range as George Springer, and I mentioned all the value plays. There's a million other good outfielders to name also tonight. Tommy Pham, Will Myers, but I really, really like JD. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate. So I know this is a quick one. Guys, any other questions? I'll be in Discord. I believe you have my Discord channel, and let's make some money tonight. Let's crush it. It was a good night for me on DraftKings, bad on FanDuel last night, ready to turn it around tonight. Remember, check out TrueDFS.com. We have, I believe Sheets' projections are basically the best in the industry. And like I said, we're working with some sites on some optimizers so we can use them for different sites, whichever one you all would prefer, but it's going to take us probably still a few weeks out on that one. In the meantime, I do think checking them out is a good idea. So check out TrueDFS.com. I'm BobbyFi saying good luck tonight, and let's crush it. Hopefully we'll see you top of the leaderboards.